guys, welcome back to another movie review. I have my Batman shirts on. Let's talk about a DC movie. Also, I hope you guys had a good time celebrating Christmas or whatever it is you're, celebrating, the holidays season with your family, friends, or by yourself. Whatever it was, I hope it was good. For me, I wouldn't put this on like a top 10, best Christmas ever or anything, but I had a good time. Me and my family, we ate dinners and, I saw Wonder Woman 1984 by myself because I'm the only DC fan in this household. Doesn't matter. So yeah, let's talk about the movie. I think I did a review for the first Wonder Woman movie. It was a long time ago, and it's like one of my first movie reviews too. So it's like it's pretty bad. The camera and all that, the editing. I haven't figured that shit all out. Some would say I still haven't. If you want, go look for it. It's pretty bad, pretty cringy, but basically, what I said was, I love the movie. It's not a perfect movie, but I really love it. There's something about that story and that character, that music, really touches me, and I was really emotionally, moved by that movie. And until this very day, that first Wonder Woman movie is my second favorite DCEU movie. Right behind Man of Steel. Man of Steel is still my number one. So obviously, as a fan of this character, and of the actress who plays the character, of this filmmaker, I was so excited for this movie. I think the trailers, they look good. I was excited, and I went on Twitter and I went on social media and all that. The reactions, it's been pretty negative. Some people liked it, he's in there, but there was some really nasty stuff said about this movie. And I was like, man, really? Is it really that bad? It got me concerned. And then having seen the movie, I'm going to be honest, guys. I think some of you motherfuckers are overreacting. I've got to be honest here. The movie, it's not as good as the first one, I don't think it's even that great of a movie. But, man, it's not a disaster. It is not, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. It's not that. The movie's not that bad, okay? I mean, it has some problems. It has some flaws, and we're going to talk about that, right? But you guys, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop, man. The best way to describe this movie, in my opinion, is it's like a Thanksgiving dinner, It's a Thanksgiving dinner with your family. That's what it is. Because you see, it started out kind of fun. It started out really fun and innocent, and you're just in it, you're having fun, and it's vibrant and it's just exciting, And then somewhere along the line, things just got serious. It got very serious, and even somewhat political at the end. And nobody knows why or how it got there. You see, the movie opens up with a fantastic sequence of, young Diana in Themyscira. It was a beautifully directed scene, the action was exciting, the music by Hans Zimmer, just, what I mean, like always. But then when I think about it, having seen the movie, I was like, why? The scene is just, it doesn't make any sense, narratively. It did not need to be in there. And then, of course, you cut to the title sequence, and then you got that, mall scene, the 80s mall scene, where Wonder Woman saved this, the little girl from the robbers and whatnot. And, in that moment, I was like, man, they're really embracing the 80s aesthetic. Everything that I'm seeing right now, it's just screaming 80s, The movie felt like it took place in the 80s, and it felt like it was made in the 80s, that's what I like about that opening sequence. And, but Diana, she came out as Wonder Woman, and she does her thing, and it was really cool. I just wish that they, I just wish that they follow through with that. That 80s theme that they were going for, keep that going, don't stop. But they did, they stopped doing that, and, it just became, just a regular, superhero movie. And that was kind of a bummer. Gal Gadot, or Gal Gadot, however you say her name, returns as Wonder Woman. She's fantastic in the movie. You know, at this point, she is Wonder Woman. She made the role her own. It's really hard to see her as anybody else. You know, like when you see her in different movies, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that's Wonder Woman. You know, and that's a sign of a good performance. Man, thank God for Zack Snyder, bro. Like, what a fantastic casting choice. Like, honestly. So, you know, Gal Gadot, you know, Wonder Woman, she's great. Steve Trevor, Chris Pine returns. I'm not going to spoil how he returns, but, you know, he's back for the sequel, and I thought he was fine. Still pretty funny, and, you know, his interaction with Diana, that's, like, the main thing that a lot of people is going to look for in the movie, and, you know, I thought, you know, the chemistry is still there, and I love their dynamics. The love story, you know, when it's fun, it's really fun, but when it's sad, bro, oh my god, there's this one scene, it's so fucking emotional, it got me tearing up, you know. Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. This is interesting because you know, it's so interesting that I made a whole video about it. I didn't think that she was a good choice to play Cheetah. That being said, I thought she did pretty well. Still, not my first pick to play Cheetah. And to be fair, I feel like this character was kind of an afterthought. Like, you know, they have a really good script of Diana, you know, versus Maxwell Lord. We'll talk about him later. But then, you know, somewhere along the line they realize, oh shit, like you can't have Wonder Woman fighting, you know, like physically fighting Maxwell Lord. What are we gonna do? Throw in Cheetah. So that's what it felt like for me. The character, you know, started off promising, a little cheesy, but, you know, I was on board with it, you know. But then, somewhere along the line, I keep saying that for some reason, somewhere along the line, the character became, you know, an afterthought, like a background character, kind of. She kind of disappeared for a little bit. Maxwell Lord. Holy shit, I mean, Pascal, this guy, he's having a hell of a year. With this role, Maxwell Lord, I think he might be my favorite actor of 2020. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this dude, he stole the fucking show from me. This performance as Maxwell Lord is so fucking good that he made the character possibly my favorite villain in the DCEU right now. He's not just being villainy for the sake of being villainy, you know? He wasn't being bad just for the sake of being bad. There is a surprising amount of depth to his character, and I like that. So actings and, you know, performances across the board, good stuff. I like it. The movie, however, felt really, really long. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes. I mean, it doesn't sound like that bad. You know, like, how many times have we seen Endgame, that 3 hours movie, right? The pacing of this movie, like, I just don't know how they did it, but they messed up big time with the pacing. Because there are points in the movie where I was a little bit bored. You know, Cheetah, again, pretty good character, and Kristen Wiig did her best, and I you know, I was fine with the performance. If they just take that plot point out, right, the pacing would have been so much tighter. Like, I get it, like, it's an action movie, it's a superhero movie, and you gotta have Wonder Woman fight somebody physically. So you kind of need Cheetah for, you know, the action and for the exciting, you know, the exciting factors of a superhero movie. But at the same time, you're hurting your script, you're hurting the narrative, you know. So I guess you just can't win. And another reason why I felt like this movie felt longer than the first one is because there's really poor uses of subtext, or the lack thereof. When Wonder Woman 1984 tries to get a theme or an idea across, they will beat you over the head with it. Like, they will try really, really hard to make sure the audience get what they were trying to say, which is not good, because in this case, they're trying to do too much. And sometimes, man, simplicity goes a long way. Sometimes you just need the action or the blocking to do all the talking. Sometimes you just gotta let the scene flow and let the message come across naturally, and you just don't tell us. In this movie, there's just a lot of telling. There's a lot of explaining, just spoon feeding information to you. And it's disappointing, Patty Jenkins, like, she's a good filmmaker, a good storyteller. So to see this from her, it's disappointing. Also, the action scenes, right? They're pretty fun for the most part, but like now thinking back, I am struggling, right? I'm struggling to remember any memorable sequences, action-wise. You see, I'm not saying that Patty Jenkins doesn't know how to do action. What I am saying is that she doesn't know how to do slow-mo. And in this movie, the sequel, the action nowhere near as good as the first one, and the bad slow-mo is still in there. I mean, I'm watching a superhero movie, right? And I'm watching it to see superheroes doing superhero shit, and it's just not that cool. Sidetracking, this is my note that I wrote down for this movie. This is like 3 fucking a.m., by the way. So, here we go. I said, Patty Jenkins doesn't know slow-mo, no good action, college party, intoxicated. I have no idea what it means. I don't know why I wrote it down, but here you go. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's my note. College party, intoxicated. I've been looking at this shit for like hours, and I still don't know what I try to say with this. So, yeah, just college party, intoxicated. What does that got to do with slow motion and action scenes? Guys, help me out. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer is my all-time favorite composer. And the second one, it doesn't even come close, in my opinion. I'm not gonna say his name, of course. But Hans Zimmer, man, like he's kind of a god. His music in this movie, is actually really, really good. You still got that that Wonder Woman theme going on, and I love that. There is one scene in the movie. It was meant to be a really powerful, emotional scene in the movie. It's like a climax kind of, or like leading to the climax. Instead of having his own music in that scene, he chose to have a piece of music composed by someone else that appear in several movies. Like, it's a really generic, inspiring type of music that you've heard million of times before. And if you saw the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about and exactly what scene I'm talking about. So at that point, I was like, okay, you got Hans Zimmer, composing your music. I don't know whose decision this was, but it's a bad one, okay? I mean, Hans, like, he's literally sitting right there. Why are you using someone else's music for this scene? Easily the best scene in the movie. Why are you using someone else's music? It doesn't make any sense. That being said, near the end of the movie, the actual climax of the movie, he uses his own music, but not the music he composed for this movie. He used the music he composed for Batman v Superman. This is where it gets interesting. The piece of music that he used for this scene, right, is called Beautiful Lies. And for some reason, when I heard that, I was like, oh my god, so that theme is not just for Batman. It's like a DC theme. It's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of cool. And what is a superhero movie without, the fan service? There are a few in here. Some of them pretty good. There's one in particular. If you're a Wonder Woman fan, you know it's gonna be in the movie. The fucking invisible jet. The way that they did it, I'm sorry. It's fucking stupid. It's just out of the blue. It's unnecessary. There was nothing leading up to it. Like, it was just kind of a throwaway moment. And, the more I think about that scene, the stupider it gets. Invisible jet. Why? What? And like I said in the beginning, the movie, the first half and the second half felt very incohesive. The first half, really, really fun 80s themes, Wonder Woman kicking ass, love story, with Steve Trevor, like all that. It was fun, adventurous, and you got the villain being all villainy. Pedro Pascal just killing it. And then you got to the second half, it felt like a completely different movie. And the tone shift is just like that, it's kind of jarring. So the second half is like a more serious, darker, and more political movie. And it's just, it's like two different movies. Like, it's not very cohesive. I enjoy both, I enjoy the fun 80s, action movie, and I enjoy the darker, more political stuff at the end. I just wish there was, like, again, I keep saying that word. I wish there was a better I just wish that we have a better transition from one half to the other. That's all. So Wonder Woman 1984, the sequel to the first Wonder Woman movie, the movie that I love, the movie that a lot of people love. It got a sequel, and it's not as good as the first one, but in my opinion, it's still pretty good. Would I watch this again? Probably in the near future. Maybe another rewatch just to see if I like it more or less, but I'm not in any rush. It got really good characters, and the first half of the movie is actually really, really fun, and then it got to a more serious and more political second act that might turn a lot of people off. For me, if they just had a smoother transition, it would have been a great movie. But I still love Gal Gadot as Diana. I still love Chris Pine as Steve Trevor. Kristen Wiig, I did not have a problem with her as Cheetah, and I think, given time, she will be a pretty good, addition to the DCEU. Pedro Pascal, oh man, you fucking killed this role. I'm gonna give Wonder Woman 1984 a 7 out of 10. Definitely not my favorite DC movies, but not the worst. Guys, if you got a chance to watch Wonder Woman 1984, let me know in the comment section how you feel about it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And if you enjoy my review, hit the like button and subscribe. You want to see more reviews like this. With that being said, stay lit, stay smooth, stay motivated. I'll see you soon.